Hey, what's going on, everyone? Mark Bruce with Fit Strength Performance and performance coach, Coach JP. Today we're going to talk about how placing the bar on your back can really dictate what your hips are going to do and what that can mean for your sport. So we're going to look at the back squat, the front squat, what happens when you do a low bar back squat, a high bar back squat, as well as a Zercher squat, and then also when we elevate our heels. So Coach JP is going to do just a low bar back squat, and we're going to kind of talk it through. So JP's thinking he's walking under that bar, he's going to place it in that low back, right? He's got the elbows underneath, he's really locking in that scap, and he's going to unrack it and take a couple steps back. So what he's going to do is just do a couple squats, and notice what happens with his body. So as he goes down, notice that he's sitting back in those hips, and a lot of that has to do with the placement on the bar, right? So he's going to do a couple more reps, give me 2 reps. So notice how he's sitting back. So when you're sitting back, right, the hips are going to go into that anterior pelvic tilt, and they're almost going to get stuck there. So from an athletic perspective, we may do a low bar back squat to really, improve glute functioning, really work on loading, absolute strength, or there could be a knee limitation. But you notice where that bar is placed is going to dictate what his hips are doing. And from an athletic perspective, right, that could help, horizontal, force, right? Because he's got more of that hingy look. So that can help with sprints. That could help with, more of that kind of horizontal power. So now Coach JP is going to do a high bar back squat. And let's look at what that does to the hips. So he's placing that bar more higher on his traps, and he's going to have more of a vertical chest. So here, he's just going to be able to, as you watch, notice how he's able to go straight down. And that's the goal, right? When we do this high bar back squat, this is a really squatty squat. He's able to go straight down. He doesn't have a lot of that pelvic dump. And this can be better for hip functionality, it can be better for vertical power, and it can be better for just the joints overall. Because what we get with a lot of athletes is who are always low bar back squatting. A lot of them like to do it because they can add more weight to the bar, but we could get some hip issues or low back issues because we're here. So JP, let's do a low bar again, and just look at where that force is going. So if JP has that low bar, putting that bar low, so if he goes down once, big breath in, notice that hinge, and that stress is going to go right there, and now he's going to come up, right? So if you're a power lifter, great, that's going to get you to lift a lot of weight, but again, because of that hinge, it could stress your low back. So we can rack that up. And so what we also like to do to keep a squat more squatty, because there's a reason why we have hinges and a reason why we have squats, right? A low bar back squat is a hinge, a high bar back squat, we should be looking at a squatty squat. So what we'll do is we'll elevate the heels. So Coach JP is going to elevate his heels. What we have at our gym is we have wedges here, at a local college that we work with. We're just going to use plates. So Coach JP is going to do a high bar back squat again. All right, and he's just trying to get those elbows underneath, and he's going to go drop straight down. So this is your squatty squat. This is going to really target your quads. This is really going to focus on driving more hip internal rotation because his pelvic can drop straight down. So going straight down. And this is great for our athletes because we work with basketball players to help them improve their vertical output. This is that vertical vector of a movement. So he's going to go one more rep. Sorry, Coach JP, making you work. Feeling his heels and dropping straight down. So this is that high bar back squat, elevating the heels so you can get more of a vertical chest. And it's also going to improve hip mobility. All right, so the second to last one is we're going to do a front squat. So we're going to look at that front squat, and we can keep the heels elevated because, again, with that front squat, we still want to have a vertical chest. So Coach AP is going to go with a front squat, and how we teach our front squats, we tell athletes either have 2 or 3, 3 fingers. If you're an Olympic lifter, right, you want to be able to get all fingers underneath because it could end up being a jerk. So JP is going to either have 2 or 3 fingers, whatever works. And when we do this movement, what we like our athletes to be able to do is stick your arms straight out, Coach JP. So, right, this is our Zercher. You should be able, or not our Zercher, I mean our zombie squat. He should be able to do this if he wants to load up with a front squat. So give me a couple reps like this, JP. So he's going down, arms up, good. Now coming up, good. Look at that vertical chest, that vertical posture. And we even get some expansion of the upper back, which is super healthy for athletes so they don't get shoulder pain, so they don't get back pain, so they're able to use their hips. So he's going to go one more rep. Notice that vertical. Going tempo, look at that vertical chest, really loading the quads, and then he's loading it up. Rack it up, and you can do that front squat. So you notice by taking that bar in the front of the body, right, he's able to have that vertical posture. So now we really get a squatty squat. So now we're going to do a front squat. So now same thing. Elbows are going to come up, elevating those heels, and we like to elevate those heels because it really helps with the hips. So he's going down, nice little tempo, control, keep those elbows up high, and now we can explode back up. Good. And because of the front squat, it's a little bit harder. He's going to load less, so that's going to be helpful for the hip joints, for the knee joints, and just be better for the body overall for the athlete to do what they're doing in their sport. So same thing, one more. 1, 2, 3, and keeping that chest up. Lead with the elbows too. Good. Rack that baby up. So Coach JP's working, doing a great job. So you notice with these different squat variations, it's going to target what his hips are going to do in this movement. It's going to target the musculature being loaded. So if you're an athlete who has knee pain, we may do a lower bar back squat sitting on a box because it's less knee flexion. If you're an athlete that struggles with hip functionality, we may focus on some type of front squat or 2 kettlebell front squat because we can get more of that vertical chest to target some hip internal rotation. Now our last one is going to be our Zercher squat. So Coach JP is going to do a Zercher, and I may have to help him out a little bit. So we're going to pick that up, and he's going to put it in that forearms. There we go. Not ideal because we would want to have this lower, but for the sake of the video, we're going to rock it this way. So here, Coach JP is going to have those elbows up, and this is really going to help those athletes that are really tilted in the pelvis because notice that weight pulls them forward, rounds the upper back, that dorsal rostrum, and then he's going to go straight down. So he's loading straight down, coming up. Good. And notice that squat. That's a perfect squat right there. Love it. Coach JP is sweating and he's working, coming down and coming back up. Good. Rack that baby back up. We'll bring it up. Got that side. So that's that Zercher squat. So please understand that not all squat is equal. Everyone should get the squat that fits their body type. If you're a really young athlete, right, kettlebells, dumbbells. If you're an older advanced athlete, we have to peel back the onion and figure out what squat is going to fit your body structure best. So those are our squat variations and how it affects what your hip's going to do and whether you're going to work on horizontal power or vertical power. But remember, squats should be squats, hinges should be hinges.